Welcome. So what is the purpose of these videos? The purpose is to prove that one good trading strategy will appear over and over again in the markets. But to have three that appear over and over again, that's more than anyone can ask for. It's more trading opportunities than you can imagine. Let me continue to prove this to you. Then you can continue to prove it to yourself. And then you will be amazingly successful. Now let's go into the lesson. Let's take a look around the world markets for trading strategy number one. As you can see here across Apple, there are no instances of trading strategy number one. So that means we can go ahead and take a look at the Aussie Swiss. And as we look at the three time frames here, there are no instances of trading strategy number one today. Now we just want to point out there was last week, and it was a nice move to the downside. Let's take a look at the Aussie Kiwi. There are no instances of trading strategy number one down here. Again, we don't even have to look up here in price anywhere. The first place our eyes should go, as we continue to remind you in the lessons, are right down here first. There are no opportunities or advantages for us in the market. Now, as we look at the Australian dollar on the 2-hour chart, it might look like there's trading strategy number one because price went lower and the MACD's higher. But remember, the MACD crossed over the center line here. It went up over, and that signifies instituting a new trend, and then it went back down, signifying instituting a new downtrend, not a weakening in this trend. So we went up and then we went down. That confuses people sometimes. Now let's take a look at the Dow. As we take a look at the Dow, there's trading strategy number one on the 2-hour and trading strategy number one on the daily chart. So we see that. How are you preparing for that? Let's take a look at the EuroCAD. In all three time frames, there are no trading strategy number one. So that means we can go to the Euro Swiss. As we look at the Euro Swiss, in all three time frames, there are no trading strategy number ones. Now, sometimes this puts people off that we're going a little fast. And the point isn't to go fast and to show off. The point is to clearly recognize whether our trading strategy is there or not. And if it's not, we move on. That's a very important lesson for you to learn and keep in your minds. Again, as we look at the Euro Pound, there's no trading strategy number one down here. Now there's lots of trading strategy number twos all over the market this week. Number ones, not so much right now. Let's take a look at the Euro Yen. There's a trading strategy number one on the 2-hour. Price went higher, the MACD went lower, and it did not. It touched, it came right there, but it did not cross over. So therefore, since it's completely on this side, trading strategy number one is valid there. Now use the skills that we've taught you to prepare for that trade. Something that's also interesting is when we do these reviews, even though they're after the fact, you also see that there's trades that have potential to make you money that are identified that you should put on your watch list. Keep that in mind. Let's take a look at the euro dollar. Currently, there are no trading strategy number ones on the euro dollar. There was last week. As you can see, MACD was going lower, price went higher, and you had a nice little move to the downside. Again, reinforcing the fact we didn't get a big move because it's not usually a reversal, it's a retracement. Now let's take a look at the pound yen. The pound yen, there are no trading strategy number ones down here. Again, very quickly your eyes can scan. You can see that they're not there. We move on. The pound dollar, it's the same. There's no trading strategy number ones down here. Nothing for us for that. Let's take a look at gold. There are no trading strategy number ones. We want to highlight price did move lower here, but the MACD did its job. It moved to the downside. Now again, last week, price moved lower, the MACD moved higher. This trade you would have been entered into It might have been a small loss or a break even, but it reinforces the fact, again, that we have to prepare for our trades properly, especially with trading strategy number one. It's teaching us the rules, it's teaching us the skills that we need. And keeping in mind that it's a retracement instead of a reversal helps us to appreciate this downtrend right here. And that trading strategy number 2 and 3 would have helped us get some of that move. Now let's move on to the Nasdaq. There is no trading strategy number 2 anywhere down here. It looks like it, right? MACD's moving lower, price went higher, MACD crossed the center line, invalidates it. Price almost went higher, the MACD was lower. That does not follow the rules. Price went higher, the MACD is lower right here. MACD over the center line, didn't follow the rules. Now let's take a look at the New Zealand yen. Price definitely went higher, the MACD is definitely lower. This is the key indication. It crossed over the center line, so this does not follow the rules. And there's no other possibilities for trading strategy number 1. But there are trading strategy number 2 and 3 all over the market right now. Now when we take a look at oil, price went higher, the MACD is lower, trading strategy number 1 is there on the 2-hour, but not on the 8-hour or the daily. Let's take a look at the S&P 500. Price is higher, the MACD is lower, trading strategy number 1 here. Prepare for that trade properly just as we've trained you. And it doesn't exist anywhere else here. Price did go higher, but that's just about dead even. And it's one of those that's too close to call, better to walk away. Because we do have a valid setup here on the 2-hour. Now let's take a look at the dollar CAD. There's nothing currently here. However, price went lower, the MACD went higher, the MACD stayed on this portion of the center line. This trade would not have triggered yet for us, but it is a valid trading strategy number 1. And let's look at the dollar Swiss. There are no opportunities here at all. And let's take a look at the dollar yen. Prices moved higher, MACD's lower. There's an opportunity coming up here. And here was an instance where price moved lower in the last several weeks, and the MACD was all scriggly and ugly. But from this point right here, when price went lower, there was nested divergence in here and it went up. So remember, the purpose of these videos is to remind you that as you go through and see the nuances through the lessons that we train you with, these are current real market examples of trading strategy number 1. So isn't it good that we review these over and over again like this? Repetition is the mother of retention and the grandmother of success. So do we have to trade everything, for example, like we looked at today? No, just follow a few things. Following just a few markets using 3 different strategies will keep you focused and free. You will never lack for opportunities in the market knowing all 3 strategies. When we do find a trade opportunity, what do? We prepare for it. How do we prepare for it? How are we going to enter? How are we going to exit? Have we prepared for both sides of the trade? We will never have to do more than answer the questions for those things the rest of our lives. How cool is that? Well, that's going to bring this session to a wrap. But do me a favor and do a lot of other people a favor. Help us change the way the world learns to trade and understand the financial markets. Let's simplify it down to just a few things we need to know to follow to be able to make money and protect our capital. If you haven't already, please visit our Facebook page and give us a like there. Search for our channel on YouTube, Train Your Brain Trading, and watch for the continuous content we continue to put there. Thanks for spending some time in this session with me today. And if you can, promote these materials so that together we can change the way the world trades.